evening. It's Thursday, 8th June 2023. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this evening, middle-aged woman in Port Harcourt, Stella Phillip, seeks justice over killing of son. Police yet to speak after killing of tricycle operator by suspected street urchin in Obogoro, River State. Environmental expert Ruben Okparama calls for incentive to preserve environment. Stakeholders in River State call for construction of dam to stop flooding. Inauguration of 10th National Assembly scheduled for next week. On the foreign scene, explosion near a mosque in Afghanistan kills 11 people. I am Constance Mega. A middle-aged woman, Stella Phillip, is seeking justice for her 30-year-old son, Promise Phillip, whom she says was killed by her neighbor's children. Well, Mrs. Phillip tells correspondent Emeko Otuka that her son, Promise, was beaten to death in their neighborhood at Jesus Avenue off NTA Apara Link Road in Port Harcourt on his way home from work. She said the police are yet to arrest the suspects.
In the presence of his father, this boy start to blow my son. Face swell up. Now carry him. Call Moses. Say, Moses, are you in the house? He say, yes. Moses, come out and hold a promise for me. As in they run, they come. Now him brother, if he brother, carry 2 Coke bottle, give him. Now him run. As in they come. Moses, hold promise. As in hold him. Now then jack him for the front of the Adomo there. Then press him neck, carry the bottle, took the 2 heads, carry block, knock him. Now him push the boy. The boy come again, carry leg, match promise for ground. Before I come carry him, they rush for the lineage. So the woman will treat him. Then beg the papa pay money. Papa saying no get. Now like that, carry the pikin run. Before I go do extra, do everything, the pikin can't die.
She, however, called on relevant authorities to help her get justice on the matter.
I don't go police people now. Then they don't pack all their things. Now the police people break their house. Good. There's nothing remain for their house. Then go carry him, mama. Then bear themselves 150,000. So the landlord association for Jesus Avenue come carry the if father come go. Then bail them too. They say make them go bring the children. Come till today I don't see anything. Then see they work out. Then see them because people say that they see them for Upper Link Road. I don't get anybody. I don't get money. Make government people help me. Make them draw that boy. Make them go and tell me how the money put my 30 years begin for grave. Make government people help me. Make them go and do me. Make come out this kind of tears from my eye.
Well, some of her neighbors also spoke on this.
We thought it's something that he will recover from. Eventually, couldn't make it. The government should take the right action because for us here, we are helpless. Let justice prevail.
But I'm not happy at all.
Everybody in the streets, we are still shocked of the incident that happened that took the life of Mr. Tangod. That is Promise Phillip. He's a cool guy, always going for his work. Please, the police should do something. At least the perpetrators should come and be persecuted. They should come and tell the parents of the deceased why they killed their son. Just a 30-year-old boy. They should come and they are nuisance of the streets. That's just the truth. They've been and always nuisance of the street. They commit one trouble or the other here and there. They fight, they beat, molesting people, even some secondary school students. Sometimes they call them, collect their phones or anything from them.
Now, reacting to this, the chairman of the civil society organization in River State, NFR George Will, called on the police to compel the parents of the suspects to provide their children.
The Nsika SMA was murdered this morning by one OCC, a courtese that have been...
For us in the civil society space, our position is that the police should immediately search and arrest the killers of Promise. We want to call the police to make sure that they use the parents of the accused to get their children. Yes, we agree that even though the parents were not the ones who committed the crime, but the police should get the parents involved so that they can search and give them links of how to get those who have killed Promise. We're monitoring the process and to make sure that the police or any other agency involved do not sweep this matter under the carpet. Justice for Promise.
Tricycle riders in the Obogoro community of River State have accused a man of killing their colleague Nsika Kesieme during an argument over a 200 naira ticket fee. Now, some of the tricycle riders, while protesting the killing of their colleague, said Nsikak was pronounced dead at the hospital where he was taken to after he was punched by the man. The angry tricycle operators stormed the complex of Kuwazobia Info FM, demanding justice on the matter, while the president of the tricycle union in Obogoro community, Ivumba Friday, spoke to our correspondent.
the Nsika SMA was murdered this morning by one OCC, a cultist that have been terrorizing the Ogbogoro and our people on daily basis. We got similar information and we'll be reporting this matter to OSPAC, even to the police. When police will come to arrest this particular hoodlum that have been terrorizing KK people, the OSPAC will aid the send us in question to run. So many times he used to break their windscreen in Ogbogoro. Our KK people, they are law-abiding people that are respecting the law. They pay their tax on daily basis. But if you see the level of ticket from community, from the OCC, meted on our KK people, up till now, so I'm speaking to you, we don't know whereabouts of the corpse of our member that has died.
Also, Lucky Esieme, the elder brother of the dead 38-year-old tricycle rider and Sikak, demanded the release of his late brother's corpse to the family.
When I left from work to my house, so I see my junior brother wife in my house telling me, say on the way, my junior brother carry a passenger to Ogbogoro Junction. Reaching there, the task force people tell him to give you 200. He say this the time that he come out, say 200. So from there, they blow my brother from belly. So he fall down and they rush him to the hospital. And on the way, the hospital they rush him, we go there and say they are taking him out. See now, I don't know where my brother corpse is. We want the person to come and show me my brother dead body and look for the matter how we go bury him.
Well, the spokesperson of the River State Police Command, SP Grace Iringekoko, promised to issue a statement on this. Moving on, the National Industrial Court sitting in Port Harcourt will, on the 24th of July, begin hearing on a suit filed by 19 aggrieved staff of Emoha Local Government Council in River State against the council, chairman of the council, Chidi Lloyd, and the Local Government Civil Service Commission. The 19 aggrieved staff are seeking redress over alleged demotion, salary reduction, and unlawful termination of appointments. But when the matter came up in court today, counsel to Emoha Council and Chairman Winston Madume moved a motion to regularize the process. Meanwhile, one of the lawyers to the 19 aggrieved staff, Kingdom Chukwezie, told correspondent Emeko Otuka that his clients are in court to seek interpretation of the law concerning the action of the defendants against them.
The staff of Emoha local governments who were demoted by the local government chairman had their salary and wages withheld for now about 2 years and who has come to court to seek interpretation from court whether he has the powers in law to downgrade, to demote them as public servants and to withhold their salary even without recourse to the Local Government Service Commission who ought to undertake an investigation of any claim he has against them.
A lawyer to the Emoha Council Chairman Winston Madume also spoke.
It was actually before Justice Obuanya, though Justice Obuanya was transferred from here to Owerri, so it was now transferred to Justice Harman today. And it came before him for the first time, which for mention, so it can't go on for hearing today. He has to adjourn it for hearing.
The chairman of the River State chapter of the Nigeria Institute of Environmental Engineers, Ruben Oparamma, is advising the federal government to create policies to discourage citizens from using plastic packages to preserve the environment and reduce flooding. Dr. Oparamma said this during an interview with correspondent Onyekachi Nwosu.
In the developed countries, there are different policies now in place to discourage people from using plastic packages. Like in the UK, I think they pay 50p if you want to use plastic package. But if you come with these recyclable packages, you don't pay anything. That small amount will go a long way to discouraging people from wanting to use plastic packages. In Nigeria, can do similar things. We can change our lifestyle to reducing amount of plastic things that come in plastic packages that we consume as well. Companies can be encouraged to make plastic returnable as well. It can come in form of reducing the cost of the soft drink you are buying.
Well, Dr. Oparamma, who is also a lecturer in the Department of Agricultural Engineering, River State University, lamented the impact of flooding on biodiversity.
When you have incidents of flooding like that, of course, biodiversity will be affected. You know, flood coming with current and all of that, and the quality of water. Nobody knows the quality of the water that is coming, whether it has high level of some contaminants and all of that. Definitely, human beings will be affected. Plants, crops, animals will be affected. It will displace animals. They don't have houses. They live in the bush. So if the bush is flooded, definitely it will cause a lot of displacement to them. So some animals, plenty animals, even human beings that live in houses. If your house is flooded, you can't live inside. You'll be displaced. So you see cases of IDPs everywhere and all of that.
He also mentioned failure to obey and enforce regulations as some of the reasons why flooding has persisted in River State.
These people just build haphazard without any building restrictions. There are building restrictions, but they are not enforced. Don't build on water courses, water canals. Don't fence it. You will know that this is a natural water course. You will fence across it. Don't build on it, obstructing the flow of water. Water, they say, will normally find its level. So when it rains and water does not find that exit, any opening, there are building restrictions, building codes. For crying out loud, these laws or regulations are supposed to be enforced. The watchdogs, that regulatory agencies, I'm not sure they are up to their duties.
Well, as you may know, biodiversity is made up of all kinds of life found in one area, like the variety of animals, plants, fungi, and even microorganisms like bacteria that make up the natural world. Biodiversity is essential for the processes that support all life on Earth, including humans. And without a wide range of animals, plants, and microorganisms, there cannot be a healthy ecosystem that can be relied on to provide air and food. Meanwhile, the coordinator of the Engeni Flood Disaster Response Organization in Aoda West Council in River State, Dr. Enyata Abiebe, is appealing to President Bola Tinubu to prioritize the construction of a dam along the Benue River to reduce flooding in the country. Dr. Abiebe spoke to our correspondent.
People are talking about the dredging of Orashi River. As far as I know, dredging will not do anything. Because even the flood, when it is time, you even burst from ordinary ground outside the river. We do know that River Benue is not as long as that of Niger. But when the flood is coming these days, the outpouring of water from Niger is very, very minimal compared to that of Benue. And what is responsible? Just the fact that there is no dam built by Nigerian government along the Benue River. So it is necessary that the federal government embark on a land that President Goodluck Jonathan has started a project. I want to hope that the President Bola Tinubu should see that as a major project to tackle, so that the outpouring of water from Benue 2 will now release and it will now help our people.
Some Port Harcourt residents say President Bola Tinubu's 1 week in office has brought hardship and sufferings to Nigerians. Well, they spoke to our correspondent in reaction to a statement credited to a PDP chieftain, Reno Mokri, that President Bola Tinubu has performed well in his first week in office. They said it is too early for the PDP chieftain to give such compliments.
It was too early to just remove subsidy without any provision. We are all entitled to our own opinion and suggestion. The government is just barely how many days? It's not up to 2 weeks. I don't know if I should just call that an eye service.
The suffering is much. It's not fair.
He has hit the ground running.
The way the economy is now, many people cannot be able to feed for 3 times a day. Some say once they find it so difficult to feed. Youth are really suffering.
We will recover quick in this Tinubu government. We will recover.
The issue of fuel subsidy removal. Somebody like me, I will have suggested, if I have opportunity, I will have suggested to him that an increased salary. I think we will be able to move along with the removal of the subsidies.
Well, before now, the former presidential aide, Reno Mokri, in a statement, listed President Tinubu's achievements in his first week in office to include an emerging single naira exchange rate, persuading NLC to suspend its proposed strike, a boost in the stock market, and the relative peace in the country, among others. Some economists in Port Harcourt have described the reduction of work days to cushion the effect of a hike in fuel cost by 2 state governors as counterproductive to the economy. An economist and senior lecturer with the University of Port Harcourt, Orwell Atiga, tells correspondent Suibio Ruwari that the measure is an attempt to shut down the economy.
Very unproductive in the sense that what they are saying is that you want to shut down government operations. And if you shut down government operations, it means they are also shutting down the economy. The public sector play a key role in the day-to-day running of the economy. That is not a better measure. I know that they are trying to do that in order to cushion the effect of the cost of transportation due to high cost of transportation due to the removal of subsidies. You're also shutting down the economy by shutting down government operations. And that will have a viral effect on the economy at large.
But Dr. Atiga also advised the government to urgently provide infrastructures like power and transportation.
Every other sector of the economy is affected. The small and middle scale industries are affected. The workers, the public civil servants are affected. The housewives and children. And every sector, when you talk about energy affects every other sector of the economy. There is no sector that is completely removed from what is happening. There is no sector that is up. Every sector of the economy is affected.
On his part, a financial economist with the Ignatius Ajuru University of Education, Debbie Mwiado,
that one will destroy the fight on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the next 2 days to close down. It's like the work enthusiasts may also be lost. So absolutely, it's not going to be useful or economically viable in case everybody comes Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the rest 2 days to close down the economy.
But Dr. Mwiado also explained the structure applied to special sectors like health and security.
That one will destroy the economy after. There is no doubt. It will destroy the economy. If everybody the economy doesn't deal with distribution, we deal with production. I'm talking in terms of what economists actually do now. It is whether the production is service or production or service. But what about very specialized sectors of the economy like broadcasting, like printing, and all those specialized areas? What about the hospitals? It doesn't make much sense in economic production. Especially the economy. Want to remove some people who are very emergent. They are not at work on a day, and then they
Recall that Governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, and that of Kwara State, Abdurrahman Abdurazak, announced reduction of days of civil servants from 5 to 3 days weekly as part of a measure to reduce the effect of fuel removal on workers. Still ahead, Wike, Makinde, other G5 governors in closed-door meeting with President Tinubu. Stay tuned.
We, the Green
public holiday in commemoration of this year's Democracy Day celebration. But this was contained in a statement by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Oluwatoyin Akinlade. The inauguration of the 10th National Assembly has been scheduled for Tuesday, 13th June at 10 a.m. But this was announced in a statement by the clerk to the National Assembly, Sani Tambawal, today. President Bola Tinubu has signed an amendment bill that gives legal backing to a uniform retirement and pension rights to judicial officers. The bill was passed by the outgoing 9th Assembly. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, former Governor of Rivers State, Governor 5, are behind those doors with President Bola Tinubu at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The former governors and the Oyo State Governor arrived at State House at about 4:20 p.m. for the meeting. Now, apart from Seyi Makinde and Nyesom Wike, the other former governors are Samuel Otom of Benue State, Okezie Ekpalu of Abia State, and Ifeanyi Iwanyi of Enugu State. And in business, oil and gas companies operating in Nigeria filled 92.3 million standard cubic feet of gas worth 150.8 billion naira between January and April this year. But the figure was contained in a recent National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency report. It represents its 79.5% 22. A mosque in northern Afghanistan has killed at least 11 people of the service of Taliban provincial capital who died in an attack earlier this week. A former Taliban police official was 30 hours wounded in the explosion which happened today. That's another case of the killing tricycle operator by a suspected street urchin in Ogbogu community in Rivers State. Has been scheduled for Tuesday next week. And on the foreign scene, an explosion near a mosque in Afghanistan has killed 11 people. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. Rain is expected in Port Harcourt this evening. Peace is the path to the prosperity of nation. Let peace reign. I am Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening. Good evening.